Yes, now it is visible. Thanks,
Okay.
Devajit.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, some network,
Okay, Harry,
some issue came.
no problem. No problem. No problem. Harry, we will take it forward.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Hi, Devajit.
Yeah, hi, hi, Krishna.
Okay. So, before deep diving further into technical things, just wanted to have a crisp about what you are doing, what you have done, what are your core skills, and anything you wanted to highlight about yourself, about technologies you have worked upon, or your achievements.
Okay. So currently I'm working at ENY. So at ENY, basically I worked with three clients, and recently I've worked with Wells Fargo. So actually there I've worked with all the vulnerabilities and security scans. So we have implemented one microservice for that. So it's like a first commit to deploy. So if any developers are making changes, then before going into deployment phase, so it will be like a vulnerability scan check will be there, like a soft check. So it will be checking like uh, all scans are passed or not. So if all scans are passed, then only it will be allowed to deploy. Otherwise it will be like a standard deployment, and again it will be going to developer for changes. So in this project I was working upon currently, and I'm into banking and financial domain projects only for past 4 years. So for 2.9 years I'm associated with EY, and prior to that I was working at CGI. So there also I was working with certain clients on banking domain projects. So I've worked upon like Spring Boot, microservices, Oracle SQL, yeah, Mockito framework.
Okay. So, if I am able to recollect correctly, you have worked on Java basically, and you have covered JDK
Yeah,
version, not specific any, or
yeah, I worked on Java 8, Java 17 also.
Java 8. Okay. So, we will be primarily focusing on Java 8 then.
Okay,
And you told like you have experience with microservices kind of architectures, right?
yes, yes,
And you have worked on banking domain applications.
yes.
Great. Okay. So how we will be going further is like we will be starting with core Java, basically focusing on the features of JDK 1.8, and later on we will be covering the advanced Java concepts like Spring Boot, uh, a small pinch of microservices kind of architectures, and one practical example.
Okay,
Later on, we will be focusing on a few database questions, and if in case possible and time permits, we will be going for a simple SQL query or something.
okay, okay, got it.
Okay. So I have my friend and colleague Prakash with me, and he will be going for the core Java questions.
Okay, so
Okay. Yeah, Prakash, on your way there.
Yeah. Hi, Devjit.
yeah, hi Prakash.
Yeah. Can you tell me why do we need method references?
Yeah, actually, it helps in referencing the particular method of a class directly. So we can do it with the help of double colon operator. So it can be done for static as well as non-static methods. So for static methods, we can directly refer with the help of class name, like class name colon colon method name. And if it is like a non-static method, we can create an object out of it, and then with that object we can call the method. So
Yeah. Okay, Devjit. Can you tell me how to call parameterized constructor through the help of method references?
uh, parameterized constructor. Okay. So Uh, I haven't used much for calling parameterized constructor. For default constructor, I know like we can make use of new keyword, like linked hash set colon colon new, like that. If we do that, a new class object will be created. But for parameterized, I'm not sure on that much.
Okay, Devjit. Can you tell me why do we need functional interfaces? Why can't you go for normal interfaces?
Yeah. So functional interface, it contains only one abstract method, and it can have a number of default and static methods as well. So basically, it is for lambda function reference. So for lambda function to work, it should refer to the functional interface. So it will basically check like it will have one reference, and we can make use of that in our business logic requirements. So there are certain methods, inbuilt methods are present, functional interfaces like predicate, consumer, runnable. So it will make sure that that particular interface contains one specific inherent feature in that. Just like predicate functional interface is having test method, which will check specifically whether that condition is returning true or false. So it identifies a particular functional interface with that feature.
Okay, Divijit. Can you tell me why do we need marker interface?
So marker interface is an interface which doesn't contain any method declaration or anything. It is like a empty interface. So basically, it determines like a specific feature associated with that interface. So if we are defining any interface as a marker interface, then it marks that particular interface references for specific type of behaviors, like
Can you,
serialization. Yeah, serializable interface.
okay, what it will do? As part of the serialization, what it will do?
There's a specific feature like UUID version check it will do, and it will check that whether that object is meant to be serialized or not. So it will check for certain behaviors related to serialization only.
Okay, Divijit. Can you tell me what are all the terminal operations are there as part of the Java 8?
Terminal operations basically for each is there, and collect method is there. Then think reduce method is there. Then get methods are there. For example, if you are calculating the average, then it will do like array list dot stream dot collect collectors dot averaging double dot get. So after that get method, we don't do anything. So that you can consider, yeah, these things.
Okay. Can you tell me what is the difference between map versus drop map?
Yeah. So basically, map is basically referencing the particular input data and maps it with a particular output. Let's suppose I want to double the input data, so it will do like 4, 3 to 9. So it doesn't reduces or increases the input data; it just maps it, and it works for one-on-one mapping. But in case of flat map, actually, it may have a list of data. So let's suppose I'm considering employee. So employee can have a list of departments. So it can have a separate department class, and then list of department reference. You can create it in employee class. So it will be containing like a employee, and within that it is a list. So for flattening purpose, we can make use of flat map. So basically, if it contains DPT EMP1 containing DPT1,
Okay,
then
Divijit.
salary. So it will
Yeah.
flatten it.
Okay. Can you tell me how to resolve the concurrent modification exception? What is the purpose of it?
Yeah. So concurrent modification of exception occurs because of fail fast iteration. So basically within that iteration process, when we are doing while iterator.hash next, and whenever during that iteration process we are trying to modify the existing list or set, then it creates a fail fast operation, and because of that it causes a concurrent modification exception. And to resolve that, we can make use of fail safe operation like copy on write array list we can use, copy on write array set we can use.
Okay, Divijit. Can you tell me why do we need completable feature? What is the purpose of it?
Yeah, completable future came in Java 8 actually. So before that, future was there. So there were some problems happening with future. So it actually blocks the main thread execution, and there will be certain scenario like the response is coming at a very increased time, so latency will be more. So there will not be a fixed time interval, so main thread will be blocked for that particular interval of time. So to resolve that issue, completable feature came into picture. So with the help of completable feature, with complete method, we can give the threshold time, and we can continue the main method execution. And we cannot club multiple features together. There was no feature present with normal features. With the help of
Yeah.
completable feature, we can attach multiple features to that. And there is an exception handling feature which came in completable feature.
Okay, Diljit. Can you share your screen?
Okay, is my screen visible?
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay,
Okay. I have a list of employee objects are there. Okay. Based on the gender, I want to know how many males and females are there through the help of Java.
okay. So you have to calculate the gender.
Yeah. Based on the gender, if you give the gender, based on the gender, we want to know what is the count of it.
Okay,
At a time, I want to know all the list of employees.
okay.
Your screen is not visible.
It's showing visible here.
No, it's stuck.
Can you see my notepad?
No,
Wait 1 second. Let me share again. Is it visible?
yeah,
Is it visible now?
yeah, it's visible.
Okay. So if we group by gender, then it will give me the count of each and every gender, like male count gender and female count gender.
Yeah. Okay, Diljit. You can stop the screen. Yeah. Can you tell me what do you mean by bean life cycle?
Yeah. So basically, initially the instantiation phase will be there, like init method will be executed. Then there will be after init method, there will be like a dependency injection will be executed, so that all the beans will be scanned first during the runtime, and it will check like what all beans are available during the runtime by the Spring container. So after identification of all the beans, after scanning of all the beans, it does the dependency injection as and when required into the particular class. And after the dependency injection process gets executed and business logic is being implemented and it is executed, then destroy method is being executed and the bean gets destroyed.
How many methods are there as part of the bean life cycle?
uh, Init method is there, then destroy method is there, then I think construct method will be there.
Okay. Can you tell me how many ways injected bean?
We can inject using constructor injection and setter injection. So Basically, with the help of set injection, we can add public set and then get then set employee name, and then we can add Autowired over that setter. Or with the help of constructor, we can create a constructor and pass the field members, and then after creating constructor, we can have added Autowired over that constructor. So two ways we can do.
Okay, Dimple. Can you tell me what is the purpose of aware injection?
Which injection?
Aware injection.
Okay, injection. Sorry, I'm not aware of it actually.
Okay. Can you tell me why do we need web application context? What is the purpose of it as part of the Spring MVC?
Web application text. I think it is to check the data in the class path, and then it is actually for binding the web data what is being coming from the request, and it binds it with the method body. And for application context, we can create our own class path application context, and we can pass the actual path reference for that file, and then we can do the execution process for that reference for application context. So that we can do.
Are you sure about? Are you sure?
Not 100%, but yeah.
Okay. Can you tell me why do we need web MVC configure? What is the purpose of it?
So actually, it makes the particular layer MVC configured, so we can create like it is like a design pattern. So if we have to create MVC design pattern, and if we do like iterate web MVC, then it will be configured as a MVC architecture, and MVC design pattern will be implemented, and then the request will be interacting with our endpoints, and it is specifically written at the controller level, and it helps in interaction with the web request with our endpoint.
Are you sure?
Yes,
Sure.
yes.
Okay. Can you tell me why do we need REST APIs? Why can't you go for the SOAP services?
Actually, with help of SOAP services, there is no feature of adding like JSON. So there will be like only XML features are available. So, but with the help of JSON, we can have JSON as well as XML feature both will be there. So we can pass a specific type. So if we want to produce,
Only two formats it will support, or any formats also
yeah,
it
yeah,
will
in
support.
any format it will support. So for this context, I was giving like it
How
was.
REST will work depends on which principle it will work.
I didn't get you. Can you repeat?
REST APIs are there, right? We are creating the REST API.
Yes.
On which principle it's working?
Actually, Jax RS it is being used.
That is the API.
Yeah,
I am asking about depends on which principles. Like there are some principles will be there. No?
yeah, like solid design principles certainly.
That is the object oriented. I am asking about REST principles. What are all the principles are there to achieve the distributed application?
Okay. So at the microservice level you are asking, or at the REST level only you are asking?
I am asking about REST APIs only.
Okay. So there will be like separate. There will be like three layers will be there, like controller layer, service layer, repository layer,
Okay,
and
you heard about HTTP methods, right?
yeah, yeah, I've heard about that.
Yeah, can you tell me what is the difference between trace and connect?
Which one? Press and connect,
Trace,
trace and connect.
yeah. On which scenario we need to use?
Trace and connect actually I haven't used much. So then it is trace will be for I think tracing purpose. Like any endpoint, if you want to use like separate microservice we are using for logging and tracing purpose, there I think we can use. And
Okay, Divjit, can you tell me what are all the idempotent methods are there as part of the
idempotent methods. So
yeah
idempotent methods are get and put methods. So basically, the number of times you are sending the request, it will give the same response.
get versus put?
Yeah, get and put method.
Are you sure put also it's there?
Actually, one time if you do, it will update the data in DB. But after that, it will not update the same record again and again. No. So mainly it is the get only. Get mapping is the main thing. But I was thinking of like if we are updating the record, then
Okay,
will
Divjit,
not
can you
update the
tell
same.
me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you tell me what is the purpose of actuator endpoints in Spring Boot?
Actuator actually checks the health metrics. So uh, whenever we are passing slash actuator over the endpoint, it will show all the endpoints health metrics for that. Like it is 200 okay or some other. There will be like certain URLs will be there. So if we call that URLs, it will show the health metrics for that. So this is the thing for actuator.
Okay, Divjit, can you tell me few of the endpoints? What are the things we are using? For example, if you want to know how many beans are created, okay,
Mhm.
as part of our application, how many objects are created? What is the endpoint we need to use?
And how many beans are created?
Yeah,
Okay, so we can make use of prototype scope, and we can create a configuration class for that. So if because Spring is by default singleton in nature, so
Divjit, I am not asking about scopes. I am asking about on which endpoint we need to know.
okay, with respect to actuator, you're asking.
Yeah, if you use slash beans, you know
Slash
how
bins.
many beans are created.
Okay.
Can you tell me how to switch from one environment to another environment instead of changing the configuration in application.properties? While running the application, we need to change the profile at runtime.
Yeah.
Is there any way to do the things?
We can add at the rate profile annotation, and we can pass dev or test or SIT UAT through annotation we can do, or we can set it in application or properties like spring.profiles.active. So these are the tools.
But for every time we need to build a var or jar file, right?
Yeah.
Without modifying the jar or any code, we want to change the configuration information.
Basically, in our project, what we do whenever we have to see in a particular environment, we are changing the profile for that. Then we are using, or in application or properties, we are setting the profile.
But
Like,
every time we cannot make it as a jar or var file, right? At runtime, we need to know how to do the thing.
okay. Some at the runtime, we need to give some command.
Yeah. Which command we need to use?
Uh, some spring
Okay,
hyphen xmns like that something. I'm not sure on that.
okay, okay, okay. Can you tell me why do we need exit code generators?
What? Can you repeat
Why
that?
do we need exit code generators?
Exit code generator.
Yeah, as part of the Spring Boot.
Exit code generators. I haven't heard of this before.
Okay. Why do we need auto configuration classes? What is the purpose of
Which configuration class?
auto configuration classes?
Uh, So actually, auto configuration is by default present within Android Spring Boot application, and with the help of which it checks like all the applications has been automatically gets configured in the class path. So we don't have to specifically configure manually. So it will be checked, and then Spring Boot only it will configure it automatically.
How can you tell the IOC container to exclude the specific components? What is the annotation we need to use for excluding the auto configuration classes?
So for that we can use like at that Spring Boot application. Then within that we can pass exclude equal to. Then we can pass that package name with the class name. Like we can write it like exclude equal to data source configuration dot class. So if we pass it within that Spring Boot application, then it can exclude that class.
Okay, okay, Dilip. Can you tell me what are all the stereotype annotations are there?
Stereotype annotations are at that controller, at that service, at that repository.
Can you tell me what is the purpose of Earth Autowired versus Earth Beam?
At that Autowire versus at that bean. Okay. So at the rate bean it specifies over a particular field, over a particular method, and it is being used along with at the rate configuration class. And then whenever we have to provide a certain type of configuration over that particular
Okay,
bean
Dilip.
that we use,
Okay, okay.
then at that Autowire is for dependence, creating a dependency injection. Let's suppose I'm using at the rate repository in at the rate service layer, so we can provide at that Autowire repository reference. It will create a dependency injection.
Okay, Dilip. I have one more question. Like to make a class as a configure a component to create a bean as a object, we are making a class as a bean or component, right? Or component or bean. What is the on which scenario we need to use that bean?
Uh, Specifically if we want to specifically provide certain type of configuration, and during that time we are using at the rate bean, and at the rate component is used at a class level, so it will tell the Spring container like this class needs to be scanned at the runtime, and at that bean specifically used at method level for specific configuration related feature we have to implement them.
Only for configuration classes only we can make it as a bean or any other classes also we can do it.
uh, we have used configuration layer only, but yeah we can do it at the method level for other classes as well. And
For what reason? For making a class as a bean, right?
yeah,
Then what is the difference of component?
first is at that component is at class level and at that bean is at method level.
No, for making a class as a class level, method level, there is no difference. What is the reason? Why do we need to make a class?
Why do we need to make a class means?
Class as a bean with different annotation. Why can't we go for same annotation?
Like it tells the Spring container like this class needs to be injected, and with certain feature like with certain configuration, then we will define a method with a dead bean. Otherwise we go for certain annotations like a dead component. So at the runtime container will inject those dependencies, and there's this service address repository address controller are all stereotypes for address component only. So it specifies certain layers.
Okay, dude. Okay. Are you sure?
This thing is coming only as of now in my mind.
Okay. Can you tell me as part of the transaction, okay, why do we need to write a transactional annotation in method level or field level? What
Uh,
is the purpose of?
So basically, it is being used for rollback scenarios. So let's suppose certain conditions has been not met and data has been saved in DB. So and now certain scenarios has been met. Now I want to roll back because payment has been processed and now some issue came at later stage. So at that scenario, we will be using a direct transaction rollback for certain exception dot class. Then what will happen? It will roll back all the changes made into the databases and all data has been set. Those things will get rolled back to previous condition, previous scenario.
Can you tell me, Devjit, on which scenario we need to write the annotation? For what operations we need to write?
And what operation means a DB operation. Then
Yeah, for DB operations only we are making a class method as a transaction or something like that, right?
yeah. So basically, if there is
And
any payment related work is happening or data is getting saved in DB, so but we need to roll back it due to certain reason.
okay, can you tell me, are you heard about propagation and isolation levels?
Exception properties. Isolation. Okay. So it will be like read, commit, read, uncommit, those things are done.
Yeah. Yes. Can you tell me how to resolve the dirty read problem while we are working with the transaction? How to resolve the things?
So we have to make sure that uh, dirty read is actually happening when one of the thread is working and then it is writing the data, but at the same time after some time another thread is working and it's modifying the data. So means one data is being read differently by different threads. So for that I think we can do proper synchronization and
Okay.
think with synchronization we can
Yeah.
control that.
You heard about Data JPA also, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you tell me how to write our own native query? What is the annotation we need to use?
We can write at that query. Within that we will write our query value equal to, then at the last we will write a comma native query equal to true. So
Okay. Can you tell me what is the purpose of auth modifying annotation? While we are writing any DML operation, we need to make a method as a auth modifying, right? What is the purpose of
at that modifying actually checks whether modifying is basically for updation and insertion in DB. So it will just check like whether that data has been updated into the database or not. So if there is any exception coming or not, it will check that. And
okay, Divijit? Can you tell me how to work with inheritance mapping as part of the data JPA?
inheritance mapping means one to many orderly.
Those are association mapping. I am asking about inheritance mapping. How to establish a relationship?
Inheritance mapping is like first we will create an interface, then we will create multiple classes which implements that interface, and then we will override that method and implement it as per the business logic requirement.
Okay, can you tell me how many types of inheritance mappings are there?
uh, a single level inheritance, then multi-level inheritance, then hierarchical inheritance, sorry, hybrid
I'm not
inheritance.
I'm not asking about core Java inheritance mapping. I am asking about while we are establishing the relationship as part of the entity classes, how many levels are there? Like table for class, table for concrete class, table for sub class.
Okay.
Have you heard about that things?
Yeah, some strategies we have used like
Yeah,
table per class strategy.
those.
Understood.
I am not a hybrid multiple these things I am not asking.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Why do we need cascade? What is the purpose of it?
So basically during mapping operation, we are using cascade equal to cascade type dot all. So basically it confirms like whenever there is any dependent classes, those data will also be saved in DB when the parent data is getting saved in DB. So for for mapping purpose actually it does, so that we don't have to save the uh, connected entity data in DB again.
Okay, Divjit. Can you tell me how many fetch types are there as part of the data JPA?
Can you repeat? Hello?
Yeah, Divjit. How many types are there?
I didn't get you actually. Can you repeat question?
Okay. Yeah. How many fetch types are there?
Thread type.
Fetch. FETH.
HETH. I'm not getting.
Fetch type. Same like how cascade types are there.
Cache type.
Fetch types.
H types.
Fetch.
Sorry, can you write it down? Actually, I'm not getting. Okay, okay. Fetch types. Okay. So there will be like two types: eager and lazy. Then fetch type dot eager means before running only it will create the object. So whenever we are running the server, okay, so before that only it will load all the objects beforehand. And lazy whenever we are calling that particular method as and when required, then that point of time object will be created. So it
Okay,
lazily.
Divjit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. While we are performing an operation into a DB, like while we are inserting a record into the DB,
Okay.
how we can tell is, for example, I have a one entity class like address object is okay.
Hmm.
There are five fields. I want to insert only specific field data. Apart from that, remaining things we need to ignore it. On which annotation we need to do.
If you don't want to persist certain fields in database, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so we can use at the rate transient.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, Diljit. Can you tell me why do we need circuit breakers? What is the purpose of it?
Yeah, circuit breaker is a type of design pattern. So it is being used when one microservice is calling another microservice and that is calling another microservice. So let's suppose third microservice is not returning me data after waiting till particular interval of time. So it will give certain error response. So to not give that error response in the UI, so we can apply a circuit breaker design pattern with certain retry attempts, like three retry attempts I have put up. So it will check three times and it will try to hit that microservice. And if the data is coming after means before three, then it will send proper 200 response with data. Otherwise, it will tell like that microservice is not operable as of now. So you can check it later.
Okay. Okay, Diljit. Can you tell me why do we need distributed tracing technique? What is the purpose of it?
Uh, okay. So distributed tracing will be used when there are multiple microservices and we have to trace the logs like from where actually the issue is coming, and to identifying the errors it will become simple. So we can create a separate microservice which actually logs the data and it will help in the tracing of the issue.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
during
Diljit.
yeah,
Yeah. Can you tell me why do we need cloud config server? What is the purpose of it?
cloud config server, I think it is being used to save the data, to upload the data in the cloud. Uh, we have to create a separate configuration class for that.
Not the widget. I am asking about Spring Cloud config server.
Actually, I haven't worked on Spring Cloud actually.
Okay, I have one scenario like we have a configuration information like DB credential. Instead of hard coding the values as part of the application.properties, okay,
Hmm.
how to secure the things?
We can make use of Vault actually, and we can save all the password related data in the key vault, and then we can encrypt that, and we can add that encrypted data here, and we can access that from the vault by calling a URL. So that URL we can access it through
Okay.
our code.
You are using Vault service, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Can you Are you heard about Kafka?
Yeah, I've heard about it.
Okay.
It's for async communication actually.
Yeah. Okay, Dimjit. Can you tell me why do we need load balancer?
Yeah, load balancer is used when there is like multiple requests are coming at a certain point. So a huge number of requests, it will be very difficult to handle that. So we can create like multiple instances of that microservice, and after registering all the services in the service registry, then load balancer will actually dissipate that request to that instance of microservice which is less busy, and then it will balance the load in such a way that all the instances are used.
Okay, Dimjit. Can you tell me which kind of security are you implemented as part of your project?
Actually, in our case, a third-party SCP service has been used, so their MTLS service security has been implemented. So, and we are actually sending the data over there, and then there itself the security has been automatically instantiated. So it will check it. So we are just using it in our project currently, and for that Spring security part, actually, for myself, actually, I've studied. So we can add like annotation. Sorry, that dependency we can add like Spring security. So like basic authentication will be
Yeah.
enabled.
What kind of authentications are there? Can you tell me?
Uh, Basic authentication is there. Then form-based authentication is there. Then I think
Are you implementing OAuth authentication?
no, I haven't implemented.
Okay, Dimjit. Yeah. Can you tell me what is the difference between rebase versus revert?
Can you repeat?
What is the difference between git rebase versus revert?
Okay, so git revert actually it reverts all the means the changes which we have done. We have to give the particular commit ID. So if we are giving that particular ID, then it will revert that particular commit. And if we are doing git rebase, so whatever the main branch or the develop branch is there, it will try to rebase with the current feature branch with that develop branch. So it will merge all the
Dimjit,
changes.
your voice is not clear.
Hello, am I audible? Hello, hello, am I audible? Hello, 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 am I audible?
Yeah, Dimjit.
Yeah. So
Yeah, now it's audible.
yeah, what was the question? What was the question? Get revert versus get rebase. Okay. So get
Okay, Dimjit. Can
revert.
you tell me? Okay. Yeah, understood. Can you tell me why do we need factory design pattern?
Factory design pattern is a creational design pattern. So basically, if there are like multiple classes which implements the interface, so it's basically it creates a layer of abstraction basically. So we don't want client to see our business logics and all the design changes. So it will make the connections loosely coupled if we make use of factory design pattern. So like there will be one interface, and there will be classes that will be implementing that interface, and we will create one factory class, and we can pass a specific type for that, and based on the type we can return the instance for that class. So whichever class we require, we can return that based upon our conditional instances, like
Okay,
which
Dimjit.
type we want.
Can you,
Yeah.
okay. How many years of experience?
6.9 years.
Yeah, that's it from our end. Do you have any questions?
Yeah. So basically, what type of projects is L&T Finance working?
Here, financial sector like we will have farm loan project, micro service, micro loans,
Okay.
SME projects are there.
Okay.
There are different kind of domains.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Yeah, yeah, that's it from our. Do you have any question?
No, no, this much only.
Yeah, thank you. Dilip.
Okay. Thank you
You'll
so
get the
much.
feedback from the HR only.
Okay. Sure.
Yes.
Okay. No problem.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.